Hello, and welcome to another episode of Cheyenne Spotlight, where our goal is to shine light on local businesses and make our community special. I'm your host, Carrie Harris, a local realtor with our 323 Real Estate. And today, I'm here at the Prairie Rose, and we're going to sit down and talk to Heather and find out all about this business. But before we jump into the conversation, please be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Heather, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for coming in.
So the Prairie Rose, tell us what inspired this business here in Cheyenne.
Well, the Prairie Rose has existed as a flower shop in Cheyenne since the early 80s, so more than 40 years now. But I've had it for the last 4.5, and it's been great for the last 4.5 years. We've won the best flower shop in Cheyenne for the last 3, so that's encouraging.
Yeah, definitely.
It's kind of a big thing to take on something that has such an established legacy.
Yeah.
That you don't want, you want to keep that legacy going and add to it and allow it to grow, kind of a thing. But I worked at another shop here in town in high school and college and really just fell in love with doing flowers and thought that that was going to be my whole life plan, was to do a flower shop. But that was back in the early 2000s when everything was still really brick and mortar. And after I did a business plan when I was in college, I was like, oh my gosh, this is not a high profit margin industry. It's going to be really, really tough. So I actually ended up going a different direction, but I kept my foot kind of in flowers and did flowers freelance on and off for about 15 years, and then started another flower pop-up business that was called Rue Claire that people might remember here in town.
Yeah.
And then when this shop came up for sale, I thought, gosh, I really owe it to myself to look into it just to see if we can make it work. And here we are.
That's awesome. Talk to us about the different arrangements that you guys make and the different services you offer.
Sure. So we are a fairly traditional full-service florist. So we do all of your kind of regular things that you would think of: birthdays, anniversaries, sympathy arrangements, those kind of things. So we're doing those all day, every day. We do a lot of memorial service work for funeral services. We, of course, do weddings, which we've kind of developed a couple different ways to do those. We still do 100% full service weddings. We've also developed our a la carte wedding menu for people who either are looking for something a little bit smaller, like since COVID, wedding behavior and patterns have kind of shifted a little bit, and there's a lot more what they would call like a micro wedding, or just like a real small ceremony. And so our a la carte menu kind of caters to that, where if you're only needing bouquets and boutonnieres and that kind of thing. But yeah, so we've got our grab and go cooler, where we've always got things that we make up every day that if you're in a rush, you can stop by and pick up. We do deliveries all day long, both in Cheyenne and surrounding area, if we're able to. And then, yeah, we're doing a lot of memorial work as well.
That's awesome. So talk to us about the different things the boutique offers.
So that was one big area, is expanding the gift selection is something that I did after I bought the store, which has just been really fun, but it's kind of stressful too, right? Because it's your money that's sitting there on those shelves.
Right.
So you really hope that you pick things that you think they're neat and unique, and people can't find everywhere, and hope that people resonate with that and enjoy those things as well. So it kind of started out as brands that I had maybe purchased as gifts for friends and family before I had the store, and liked their products enough that I wanted to carry them. But we really do try to focus on small businesses, both local and non-local, women-owned business. And then I lived in Europe as a kid, so I've got a pretty strong European influence.
Cool. Yeah,
my dad was in the Army. And so we do carry a few lines of products from like France and some other parts of Europe as well.
That's really cool. So for our viewers who want to visit the Prairie Rose for themselves, can you tell us where you're located?
Sure. So we're at 313 West Lincolnway. We're right next to Mary's Mountain Cookies, and we're right across the street from the parking garage on Lincolnway.
What's the best way to connect with the Prairie Rose online?
Probably through our social media. Instagram is our primary, and so our handle there is the Prairie Rose Cheyenne. But we're also, you can find us under that same handle on Facebook. And then our website is theprairierosecheyenne.net. But that's going to be undergoing a facelift here in the next couple months. So definitely you can see more of our original work and that kind of thing on our social media.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us, Heather. We really appreciate you in this community.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you for joining us for this latest episode of Cheyenne Spotlight. If you own a local business or want to suggest one, please contact me at carrieriesrealty.com. All my contact information is listed in the description box below. I can't wait to see you next Saturday when we shine light on another local business. Until then, be kind and let your light shine.